So throughout the course of the year, many religious communities of monks and nuns or sisters and brothers have various practices and rituals that are meant to build community and friendship, bring them closer in their relationship to the Lord and to grow in virtue. One practice that some religious orders have is called the chapter of faults. What this entails is everyone in the community gathers together every so often in a large room, and one by one, each person stands in the middle of the community and publicly confesses the things they did wrong. How they didn't follow the rules, how they treated another person, things like that. It's meant to be an exercise in humility. Of course, it doesn't always play out that way. Sometimes it becomes a rather dramatic airing of grievances. See, once I heard a story about a group of Benedictine monks where one brother stood up and made a huge display because the brother in charge of doing the grocery shopping consistently forgot to buy bananas. Again, it's meant to be an exercise in humility, but it does pose the risk of devolving into theater, full of passive-aggressive criticism. So criticism is that one thing that we cannot stand to endure ourselves, yet one of the easier things that we can do to other people, which is why our gospel story today is very interesting for us, whether we admit it or not. We love a good bit of gossip. See, in the gospel, we have Jesus sitting in the temple area teaching a gathering of people. Then, without warning, the scribes and the Pharisees dump this woman in the middle of everyone and publicly accuse her of being caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now, how she was caught in the very act? It's an interesting question. Probably something I don't want to know the answer to. And because she was caught in the very act, these men probably did not give her a chance to get decent. So, here she stands in all of her shame, exposed to the condemnation and the lecherous eyes of a vengeful crowd. But that's not all. See, not only is she fully exposed and accused of a crime that can result in her painful death, but these scribes and Pharisees really don't even care about that. She's being used again. She's just a pawn meant to get at Jesus. Yet, Jesus remains calm, sitting there surrounded by a crowd of onlookers whose curiosity and anticipation are building, group of religious leaders foaming at the mouth to finally ensnare Jesus in one of their traps, and this poor woman with nothing to hide her guilt. Jesus just bends over and starts writing in the sand. So pressing him to give an answer, he finally relents and speaks that famous line, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to cast a stone." And back to writing it goes. Now, we don't know what he wrote on the ground as he faced the stares and accusations of the crowd, but whatever it was, it forced the scribes and the Pharisees to slink away, along with the rest of the crowd. So finally, standing alone before Jesus, who was still sitting there, Jesus tells her that he also does not condemn her, and to go and sin no more. So this story is a reminder to all of us of the fantastic compassion and mercy of our God. That even though this woman had been caught in the very act, Jesus Christ does not condemn her. He casts no aspersions, throws no stones, inflicts no punishment. He very simply instructs her to sin no more. This woman is let go scot-free. And good thing too, because this woman's story is our story. So often we fall down, fail to live as if we are called, seek to take the easy way out. And even though we may sin in the cover of darkness, the Father always catches us in the very act. But if we are willing, all we need do is return to him, and mercy is ours to be had. Now this, of course, begs the question: if God extends his compassion and mercy so readily and so willingly to us, then why do we find it so easy to look at others with cruel eyes and jealous hearts? Why do we criticize others with such reckless abandon, downplaying their strengths, inflating their weaknesses? Why are we slow to forgive and loath to extend compassion? The Father wants to love us and forgive us like the poor woman, yet why are we so eager, so determined to be among the group of scribes and Pharisees, tossing our friends and our loved ones into the middle of the ring for all to gawk and cheer? So often, we become laser focused on criticizing and gossiping about other people because, well, we really don't want to deal with our own weaknesses and failings, our own insecurities and doubts. We paint giant targets on other people's backs so no one will pay attention to how I messed up. See, truthfully, those are the actions of playground bullies. We have been called to more. So this story is a reminder that calling, and serves as an invitation to do more for those around us, to raise up people that are cast down by hunger and economic disparity and hatred, to extend the hand of mercy and compassion to those battered by violence, hatred, and injustice. See, this is our mission. This is our life. To be the voice of Christ's compassion and the hands of Christ's mercy. Likewise, we are called to accept that mercy and compassion like this poor woman. See, it's either that, or we accept to play the role of the scribes and the Pharisees. But if we accept that role, then we must also be willing to accept their fate.